Hi there, my name is Karen with the Airdrie Public Library, and this is Bedtime Storytime. Thanks for joining me. Can you guess what I've been thinking about this week? If you guess being a spy, you're exactly right. I have been thinking about being a spy, and the thing I am looking for is ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. I've been looking everywhere. You would not believe where I find letters and numbers. I find them on the fronts of houses. I find them on people's shirts. I find them on cars and signs and in stores. I even find them on the packages at breakfast time. Yeah. It's crazy. They're everywhere. So I know that you can find ABCs and 1, 2, 3s if you go searching for them too. In fact, let's do a test. If you've ever checked out one of these I Spy books, they are fantastic for making you a very good spy. So I have here a page from one of those books. I'll show it to you for just a minute. Can you find the number 8? Yeah, that was too easy. It's right there, the big blue 8. Let's see, let's try something harder. Can you find a letter S? I'll get a little closer for you. Let's see if you can find an S. I promise it's in there. It says S. If you found the stop sign, there it is, the letter S. Good job. Let's see, can you find the letter Y? That's a tough one. I promise it's there, but it's really tiny. That's a clue. Really tiny. It is right here in the word you. How old are you? Y-O-U. Good job. Let's try something that's not a letter. Let's try a watermelon. Can you find a watermelon slice? It's hidden really well. That is not it. That's a fish. And that's not it. That's a flag. And that's not it. That's a button. Where is that watermelon? It's right there. Good job. Well done. Let's try one last one. Can you find something that has 5 dots? Oh, it's a tricky one. It's not right there. That's 6 dots and 6 dots. Can you find it with the 5 dots? It's not that. That's a bracelet. And it's not the button that has 4 dots. And over here, 3 dots. But where are the 5 dots? Ah, pretty tricky right there in the corner. 5 dots, the yellow ones. Well done. You are a good spy. So as I've been spying and searching for letters and 1, 2, 3s, I found a song, and I hope you'll sing it with me. It goes like this. 1 green jelly bean down in my belly bean, giving me a tummy ache. What am I gonna take? All my friends are telling me they've got the remedy. Don't eat the green ones and jump up and down. Good job. 2 green jelly beans down in my belly bean, giving me a tummy ache. What am I gonna take? All my friends are telling me they've got the remedy. Don't eat the green ones and rub your tummy and jump up and down. 3 green jelly beans down in my belly bean, giving me a tummy ache. What am I gonna take? All my friends are telling me they've got the remedy. Don't eat the green ones and pat your head and rub your tummy and jump up and down. Good job. 4 green jelly beans down in my belly bean, giving me a tummy ache. What am I gonna take? All my friends are telling me they've got the remedy. Don't eat the green ones and kick your leg and pat your head and rub your tummy and jump up and down. Oh, that's a fun song. I do like that one. Speaking of beans, as I was out hunting around, I found a book and I am so looking forward to reading it to you. It's called Jack and the Beanstalk and the French Fries. I love French fries. It's by Mark Teague. You ready to find out what happens? Oh, good, good. Here we go. Looks like a nice little place to be. Jack lived with his mother in a small house at the edge of the woods. They were very poor. They were so poor that when their cows stopped giving milk, Jack's mother feared they would starve. "Quickly, son," she said, "take the cow to the market and sell her for as much as you can. Everything depends on it." I don't even know where I would sell a cow if I had a cow. But that's what Jack's got to do. Jack headed off with the cow to town, and while he stopped to rest, when he did, a stranger appeared. "I will trade you these magic beans for that cow," said the old man. "Magic beans," said Jack. "You must think I'm a dodo." "Not at all," said the stranger. "And these beans are quite magical. Plant them and you will have all you desire." "Honest?" said Jack. What he desired at the moment was food. "Honest," said the stranger. So they made a deal, and Jack returned home with the beans. "Foolish boy," cried his mother, "you have ruined us." She tossed the beans out the window and sent Jack to bed without any supper. When he awoke the next morning, a strange light filled Jack's room. Giant leaves poked through the window. He stuck his head out and saw an enormous beanstalk growing in the backyard. "Ma," he cried, running down the stairs, "check out that beanstalk." "I already did, and look, I made us bean porridge for breakfast." Jack ate the porridge. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was better than starving. "Well, I guess our problems are solved," he said, and he headed off to school. Have you had bean porridge? I haven't either. Or maybe you did. Oh, you have. Nice. After that, Jack and his mother ate beans all the time. They ate bean salad, bean soup, pickled beans, refried beans, baked beans, minced beans, mashed beans, breaded beans, bean sprouts, and bean dip. And after a while, Jack grew tired of beans. He dreamed of burgers. He dreamed of French fries. "Couldn't we have something else?" he grumbled, staring at the bean chowder. "Why should we want anything else?" said his mother. "Beans are nutritious and delicious, and best of all, they're free." look at that table. Everything is green. And thanks to the magic beanstalk, there were always more of them. The stalk produced enormous quantities of beans. They grew through the summer, the spring, the summer, the fall. Even in the winter they kept coming, and Jack's mother shared the beans with all the neighbors, and the neighbors' neighbors, and the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors. And soon the entire village was eating them. At first everyone seemed grateful, but the feeling didn't last. At dinner time, Jack could hear the howls of children from blocks away. "Please," they cried, "no more beans." Oh my. School was even worse. The kids glared at him over their bean-filled lunches. His classmates said, "It's all your fault. You never should have planted that thing." "I didn't," said Jack. "Not really." But nobody believed him. Big kids threw bean sandwiches at him. Bullies chased him home from school. This has to stop, he thought. But he didn't know what to do. Everyone's tired of eating nothing but beans. I would miss French fries too. On his birthday, Jack was given a bean bag, a bean shooter, a slice of bean cake topped with a dollop of ice bean. "That does it," he said, as he lay in bed. "That beanstalk has to go." The next morning he grabbed a hatchet, stamped outside. He was about to give that stalk a good whack when the stranger appeared once again. "Wait," said the old man. "Aren't you curious what's up there?" "I know what's up there," said Jack. "Beans." "Don't be foolish," said the stranger. "Climb. Here, I'll give you a boost." Do we know what's at the top of the beanstalk? Maybe that's what's up at the top of the beanstalk. We're about to find out. Just then an angry mob appeared at the end of the street, and among them were the worst bullies from school. They carried torches and pitchforks, and they chanted, "No more beans." One of them spotted Jack. "Look, it's the bean kid." "Okay," said Jack, "I'll climb." He gave his hatchet to the stranger and scrambled up the beanstalk. No more beans. No more beans. And there goes Jack. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up he went until the village looked small below him. Jack wasn't crazy about heights, but bullies were worse. He kept climbing. The beanstalk disappeared into the cloud, and he realized he was hungry for anything other than beans. But there was nothing to eat, and no way to go but up. Finally, the beanstalk arrived at the top of a cliff, and from there a path wandered off into the distance. Jack followed the path until he came to the front door of a huge castle. Hunger made him bold. There must be food in here, he thought, and he slipped inside. Into the castle. Jack wandered gloomy hallways until he came to an immense kitchen. A giant woman stood at a wooden table. She was canning beans. "Ugh," said Jack. "What are you doing here?" she cried, dropping her can. "I was hoping for something to eat." "Silly boy, don't you know where you are? My husband is a giant twice as big as me. And lately he's been very grumpy." "I bet it's the beans," said Jack. "Don't be ridiculous," she said. "Beans are nutritious and delicious, and best of all, they're free." But Jack was right. Ever since the mighty beanstalk had appeared, the giants had been eating nothing but beans, and Mr. Giant was sick of them. Uh-oh. I wonder what's going to happen next. Loud footsteps suddenly sounded in the hallway. "Fee, fi, fo, say, what's for lunch?" "Quick," hissed Mrs. Giants. "You must hide." Jack dove. There he is. You see him down there? head first into a flour barrel. A moment later, Mr. Giant strode into the kitchen. "Boy, I'm hungry." "Good," said Mrs. Giant. "I'll make you a nice bean salad." "Bean salad," he cried. "But all we ever have is beans. I hate beans." "We love beans," she said, "and they're good for you. How do you think you got to be so big?" "I don't know, but you eat 'em and you're still puny. "I'm busy," she said. "Now eat your salad and stop your complaining." He is big. The giant ate, but he didn't stop complaining. "Beans," he grumbled. "What I wouldn't give for a plate of French fries." Without thinking, Jack said, "Hear, hear." "What was that?" said the giant, leaping to his feet. "Nothing," said his wife. "I know what I heard, and it came from the flour barrel." And the giant stomped over to the barrel and plucked Jack up by his feet, turned to his wife and said, "What is this?" "It's just a boy. He was looking for something to eat. Maybe he is something to eat. Look, he's already breaded." "Don't be disgusting," she said. "Yeah," said Jack. "Don't be disgusting." What do you think? Should the giant eat Jack? The giant set Jack on the table, but he was still angry. "You know what's disgusting? Beans." And he dumped a whole bushel on his head. "You see, disgusting." He overturned another bushel and another. He had picked up great handfuls of beans and tossed them in the air, and soon beans were flying everywhere, and Jack joined in. They made a terrific mess, but as the giant and Jack made the mess, they chanted, "No more beans! No more beans!" "Stop," said Mrs. Giant. "Both of you should be ashamed. If you don't like beans, plant something else." "Plant?" said Jack. "Something else?" said the giant. "A vegetable garden, you ninnies, with potatoes, for instance." "Why, taters?" said her husband. "To make French fries," cried Jack. "Of course, we'll plant some right away. First, you clean up this kitchen." Good for them. The kitchen is cleaned. As soon as they were done, they headed down the beanstalk. The bullies were waiting at the bottom. "There he is," they cried when Jack appeared. Jack wasn't worried. "Meet my friend," he said, and once the uproar died down, the bullies went home, and Jack and the giant spent the rest of the day planting a garden. "Whoa!" shouted the giant. "Patience," said Jack. Soon the giant grew bored and headed back up the stalk. But Jack tended his garden every day, and the vegetables grew and grew. Here's some words: potatoes, tomatoes, corn, carrots, and there's more that go right off the page. In fact, whatever magic had produced the beanstalk seemed to be working on the other plants as well. Before long, the backyard was bursting with carrots and corn and potatoes, tomatoes and asparagus, and everything was enormous. There was so much food they didn't know what to do, so Jack and his mother cooked up a feast. The smell spread across the village and all the way up the beanstalk, and by dinner time, everyone was there, even the giants. It was the most stupendous meal anyone could remember. They all agreed the food was delicious, nutritious, and best of all, stupendous means really, really good, were the French fries. The end. I hope you enjoyed that book as much as I did, and I hope that you spend this summer searching for words and letters and numbers. One of the places you might try looking is Community Links. On Tuesdays during July and August, they have Messy Play Drop-In, where you can go in, get messy, and leave the mess there. Pretty awesome, hey? So again, Community Links, Tuesdays, July and August, they will be having Messy Play Drop-In. You can check their website for more information. Are you ready for our goodbye song? Here we go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night.